in our own way, for our own reasons. And that's okay, because there's levels to this. Not just levels in games. There's levels of specs.
And levels to flex.
Sequence initialized.
There's mad levels of innovation.
3, 2, 1. Activate light switch.
And mythic levels of creation.
There's levels to exceed.
And levels of speed.
There's status levels.
Whatever levels.
There's entry levels. Time-shattering levels.
Ready?
And ladies and gentlemen, oh, we're not.
Yeah, we're in. Go on.
All right, we're in again with the. Every time, man. Every time you just.
It
can't
always
get
gets
the
us.
countdown right. You can't get the countdown right. Yeah, okay, but regardless. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IGE Contenders Valorant Tournament, powered by Logitech G. We're back with another day of extreme Valorant action in the tournament, and it's me, Kirito. We're going to be taking you through this matchup. I have Aggressive alongside me, and again, another BO1, another day. Let's get into the match real quick as the agent selection is already underway. So Aggressive, let's see. It's the map's Haven, so what are the thoughts on the teams and the agent selection so far?
It's 0 IQ. Do I really need to say anything about this squad? These guys have been a dark horse for the longest time, and day by day, these guys are just improving even more. And I don't know what to say. Like, this is such a young roster. Think about it. Overall, the roster is just filled with 13-year-old, 14-year-olds, and 15-year-olds. Like, what more can you say about this? They have so much talent under their belt, but the experience that they need to play on such a big stage is what's really lacking in comparison. And we don't know anyone from the members of Noobs, but from what we saw from their ranks, they're pretty decent on the individual level, but how they perform as a team, that is still yet to be seen.
Yeah, it is a very important factor. We have seen a lot of teams that have amazing individual strength and great capacity, but again, when you put them together, there's still a lot of work to be done. It's a 5-man team. You have to establish that communication and sense of teamwork in order to go far in this tournament. But yeah, teamwork is going to be crucial as we are going to walk into the map of Haven very soon. The infamous 3-sided map that really gives the defenders a run for their money to hold on to every site. So very crucial to go for Sentinels. And speaking of which, Noobs are going to go for 2 Sentinels. And the Sage pick coming in, which is not something you really see at the highest level of Valorant. So I'm really interested to see how they pull that off.
Like, you never really know. Sage is one of those pickups that can make it or break it for a team. So overall, we're going to be witnessing maybe something out of the ordinary. Could be a Sage slower with a raise nade combination from the different portions of the map. It can get you early levels of control. You know that as well. A main being one of the most highly contested parts of Haven, because if you have A main control, you pretty much have a big portion of the map under your control, where then you can get a proper idea of if they want to go to B or C. You cut off one complete lane. But then again, Sage is so one-dimensional in nature that if you are not constantly evolving your strategies, you're just gonna fall a little bit too short.
Yeah, the utilities are very limited as well, and it's not like they're completely, of no use. You can definitely come up with some interesting Sage utilities, but it's just so limited that you're gonna have to be creative. You're gonna have to find ways to assist your team, especially when in a map like Haven you're defending. You need to have the best defensive capabilities with that Sentinel, and she's going to be positioning herself right outside of B main and hoping to see not the usual just wall immediately in that B main area, as we're going to see the opposition of 0 IQ attacking. That will be hopefully
going back
avoided. Looks like some issues have occurred. Yeah, but speaking of which, we are. I was talking about Sage, and hopefully we don't see that usual one-dimensional strategy that we really see in a lot of lower levels of play. Having that wall up mid, having it early to stop aggressive plays, which can be useful in some instances, especially maybe around the B main and A site entries because of how fast you can access those sites as attackers. How fast, especially with Jet and Raze, who have ability to gain space for your team. Those agents can be a menace to deal with. That's why in that case the Sage Wall can be used really creatively. Hopefully that is something that the players will be looking to use, not just have that one-dimensional wall early on strategy that we see in a lot of teams. But other than the Raze, we obviously had the double initiator combination on the other side of Zero HQ. We have the Sova pick, we had the Breach pick, a decent combination. A lot of teams are sort of separated on whether they are gonna go for the Sky or the Sova. I mean, what are your thoughts on that difference, Aggressive?
In my opinion, the Sky just doesn't hold as much weight on this particular map. You need to have that Sova because gaining that early level of information is just such a crucial thing overall whenever you're playing on Haven. You want to have that early level of info. You want to know exactly what's going on through the different portions of the map. And yeah, Sky allows you to have that flash under your belt, allows you to go in for those very fast, heavy pickups, but it can't really work out that way now, can it? Because think about it this way. First of all, whenever you are playing as a Sky, you gain that early level of info, and then that's done. You don't know exactly how many players there are. You still need to go there physically to get that level of information, or you need to use your dog to try and gain that info. It's a lot of utility. While on the other hand, Sova, if you're able to place your scan properly, and a lot of Sova mains have very creative lineups that allows them to get at the bare minimum of one scan, and even though he is nerfed, it's still a pretty big change. You still get a lot of value out of his scans if you place it down properly. Now, moving on back from that, I think Haven facilitates a Sova a lot more because Haven is a map where double initiator is a must. You cannot play this map with a single initiator, especially in professional levels of play.
Also, with that utility on the post-ban situation, Hunter's Fury is just too strong to be able to, taken away. Having that post-ban, having that safety to know that, okay, I can stay back, I can definitely get one player off the bomb plan, off the diffuse is so crucial. Sky is also has that ability, but it's very situational. It's more before the post-plan, it's late into the round. We've got maybe 40 to 30 seconds. You don't know which site you're gonna go to. You use the Sky Seekers to see which site allows to give you the biggest entry. Again, both gives information, both allows your team to identify where is the best option to go to traverse. But the Sova, again, I completely agree with the weight that he provides, the amount of information he provides is a lot more crucial. And combined with that Breach, when you have a Jet, I believe Zero IQ might just go for the Jet play. The Jet as the primary duelist, the only duelist, might, that Breach and Jet combination, if done well, can be such a menace to the defenders. No matter if they have a Cypher or a Killjoy, if they're able to take care of those utilities, the entry can be done so easily, and the flashes, the stuns just sets up the Jets so easily to get those frags. But yeah, I'm hoping to see that come out from the side of Zero IQ. Again, we did see them go for the Killjoy pick as well. There's another bit of a the agent rivalry there, the Cypher versus Killjoy on the Sentinels. And honestly, at a certain point, I thought Killjoy was very superior. The utility allows you to hold down the site much more easier. But I believe that the best Cypher players can outdo the majority of Killjoy players if you have a good setup on a site. So do you think that's something that you're gonna agree with if a really strong Cypher takes on a Killjoy main? It's a very one-sided fight.
Cypher's just, how do I put it? Cypher doesn't have the same level of utility potential that a Killjoy has. Cypher's really good at holding down a site by himself. He can do that. Compared to a Killjoy who is a little bit more towards the side of aggressive, she has the potential to peek off of her utility, while Cypher needs to wait for enemies to run into his utility to even get any value out of it. that's the biggest contrast between the two, and that's why Killjoy is a lot more of a stronger Sentinel in comparison, because the current meta of Valorant really favors people who can take initiative in their fights instead of agents and players who are waiting for something to happen to them. Proactive play is a lot better than reactive play, and that will play a pretty big part whenever you are playing inside of the map as well. That's why Cypher is not really picked up as much on any other map compared to one only, that being Bind. Because on Bind, reactive play is a lot better than proactive play because of how that map really plays out. Very execution heavy, single sight lines, you can get a lot of information early. You don't have to invest as much utility to gain a lot of information. So on Haven, where it's a utility intensive map, you need to play for information. If you don't have information, if you play reactive, you will just not be able to do anything on the defensive side. Because for one, you're running into a site, you're holding down a sight line. You may be only one person alive there. Like, you could be the only person holding down the sight line. So you're going up against 5 other players, and the Cypher has a good chance of not being even able to get one. You never really know.
Yeah, and I believe that's also why Chamber in his prime days with his 2 traps, with his range on those traps, was so much more stronger in the map of Bind as well, because of he had that sort of really nice blend between a Killjoy and a Cypher, where you have to peek, you can be proactive, but you also have to be sort of reactive based on where your traps are, and then take the peek. If they run into your trap, then you take a peek, then you take a fight with your ultimate or whatever gun you have, and then you can get out of there and play again that Cypher role of, you know, just waiting for them to enter into sight, again utilize that TP. Things that really sort of find the common grounds between those two agents. But yeah, again, if we're gonna go to Haven, it's definitely a Killjoy that's much more stronger, and especially with that ultimate, I think the ultimate can cover the majority of the sites, especially both on attack and defense. It can clear out the entirety of the site for you, and that will definitely allow for a much easier entry, whether on the site take or the site retake for attackers or defenders, respectively. So yeah, definitely Killjoy outweighs the side of the Cypher in a lot of cases, but again, you never really know. We have seen players come out with the weakest agents, maybe come out with a Yoru when he was not really that strong. Just fragging out, just doing the entire work for the team. We might even see Deadlock, who's not really that strong agent-wise right now compared to the rest of the roster. Some player just might come in and pick her lock her in every game and just use the utility in such a way that no one's really seen. So again, we never know. The Cypher might just come out of nowhere and just surprise us all. That's why in this current state of Valorant, you really cannot disregard any teams. You really cannot disregard anybody who's a dark horse, who is a sort of underdog in these scenarios. So you have to watch every match. You have to consider every possible outcome, because in such an high octane action game, nothing is taken for granted. But one thing that can be taken for granted is if you check out the products that are on sale right now at the Logitech G store at the Raz from the 12th to 24th of September. Within this limited window, you will have access to the best esports gear to start your journey into the world of esports, the esports industry, so that you can get the gear that you want for the best performance possible. And who knows, with those gears, you might end up at this stage when the streams are on, everybody's got their eyes on you. You might just hit that one crucial shot to get you to glory with the help of these gears. So yeah, again, I repeat, check out the Logitech G store on the Raz right now. Sales are active from 12th to 24th September on amazing products, amazing equipment for you to enhance your gaming experience. So yeah, that will be something that I hopefully you will check out. And again, I'm checking out the teams right now. Hopefully everything's fine and dandy, and we're gonna start the tournament real soon. Start the matchup real soon. We're still waiting on some issues, but yeah, we have seen the players of Zero IQ. You at the beginning of the stream, you did mention that Zero IQ is such a strong team, and something that I really don't have much information about is how they have performed so far. So if you can enlighten me on how the team sort of works.
I think we're gonna be heading on down over into a short little break until Saptic does show up. So
Okay.
yeah, and we'll be back with the real show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll pick up on this conversation right after we jump into this game. We'll see you in just a little bit.
We all play in our own way for our own reasons. And that's okay. Because there's levels to this. Not just levels in games. There's levels of specs.
And levels to flex.
Sequence initialized.
There's mad levels of innovation.
3, 2, 1. Activate light speed.
And mythic levels of creation.
There's levels to exceed.
And levels of speed.
There's status levels.
Whatever levels.
There's entry levels. Time-shattering levels.
And levels of mayhem.
Pretty dope, huh? There's levels of dedication, devotion, and motivation to reach a whole nother level. Now what's possible and what's next is up to us. So let's go. There's levels to play.
Okay, we're jumping in. Start.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IGE Contenders Valorant Tournament. We are back with the matchup. Hopefully, we're gonna start off without any hitches right now. But yeah, Zero IQ versus Noobs. Zero IQ are gonna be attacking on this map of Haven. That is the first and only map of the series. So we're gonna go into the game as we only have 12 seconds remaining as the barriers will fall. But again, like taking a look at the agent composition, attacking side Zero IQ has a much more refined and well-balanced composition, especially with the double initiator, the killjoy, and Omen not a bad pick either. Meanwhile, we are gonna see the side of Noobs with that Sage double initiator combo and a Cypher as well, who is, I'm not gonna say weak, but definitely a much more proactive agent. A reactive agent than you have to play. So we're gonna see the aggression coming in from Zero IQ as they've already rushed into the side of C. They did peek around the A main area a little bit, but the spike will be planted outside of C right now as the rest of the players from the defenders trying to swarm in. We're gonna see this over, peek out a little bit. Azura with the fresh frag of the game. Trade is gonna come in from the Sage as another follow-up from Ladis with the raise name. Here comes a breach stun. He's gonna find 3 players, gets one. The Boombot though coming in, he's walking around like crazy. As the raise, Ladis finds one more. Azura trying to pull some attention towards her end on the garage area as the smokes are gonna come in. Spike will be tapped. Azura gets a triple kill. 1v1 Ecstasy. He's so low. There's no lax coming in. A clean headshot. What a way to start off the game. 1-0 in favor of Zero IQ, and a very I mean, it was very fast, but I saw some really good individual performance from Zero IQ. Good start to the game.
Yeah, that was a perfect start. That is what you really want to see in situations like this overall. But at the same time, that was a little bit too dicey as well when you think about it, right? Too many back and forth fights. They need to be a little bit more cleaner, but again, maybe the players are just warming up still. Give them some time to get the ball rolling into their court, and as soon as they do, they are gonna be unstoppable. The members of Zero IQ, they are a young roster, and that's where the problems will really start to arise. Do they have the metal in them to get to the finish line though? But in a best of one, I think they're gonna be completely fine. This is their territory. It's not a long marathon, it's just a short little sprint, and they should be able to reach that finish line.
Hopefully in the best of 3 series, or if we have a best of 5 matchup coming up in the future.
Just best of 3s.
Yeah, best of, okay, only best of 3s, but still 3 matches. If they go the distance, it's gonna be quite a run for them. But
One enemy
Scar,
remaining.
holy moly! In a matter of seconds, I mean, the weapons difference was very clear there, I guess, with the Bulldog. Not really phased at all by the small buys that the side of Noobs showed up with. But yeah, triple kill for him, making it a 2-0. Very comfortable, flawless buy round on their end. But yeah, bonus round coming up. Will the new bot weapons from the end of Noobs come in handy, as we are going to see a possible early A aggression outside of the side of A? They might run into some trouble here, especially with the Raze and Cypher combination. Could be dangerous, as they're both playing outside of the side, both playing based on the utilities. So we might see them struggle a little bit, especially with the guns difference. As we are gonna see, oh, the jet! The jet got pulled back over there, and there it is! The Cypher coming up clutch with 2 early kills and absolutely denying entry in the side of A. That's gonna be a big hit for the side of Zero IQ. Let's if they can react off of this. It's easier said than done.
It's not gonna be that simple, especially with 2 members, 2 very important fraggers going on down from your side. You now don't have a Sova, you don't even have a Jet. Your entry and your main info gathering utility is now completely gone, done and dusted. Maki looking for another kill here, but this Omen just causing so many problems, and that camera being an absolute nuisance, and he has no idea where the camera even is. So much to worry about, so many different opportunities and so many different fights to take over. Coming on from the backlines though. We need to worry about one more. Scare's gonna be good for another one. And look at the positioning. Snorlax is in prime spots to get 2 kills out of this one. You thought that's good. Gonna be good for the first. Good for the second, maybe. No! He needed to get 2 here. Now stuck in a 1v3. You don't want to be in this. Yeah, I don't think he can.
Cover going out. He's really got to find an option to get that spike down quick. But yeah, just as it goes down, we're going to see the Sky Trailblazer coming in. Does it catch him? It does. And Maki's going to be able to get the frag. The Cypher coming up big for the round. Giving them the early advantage was so crucial. And Zero IQ, they really had no idea how to react based on that. They tried to lurk in. But again, the side of Noobs, they're holding strong on all the lanes, all the possible entryways. So yeah, Maki didn't really have to move around too much. The camera allowed her to get information, and everything was fine and dandy till the end. So 2-1 scoreline coming in. Buy rounds, gun rounds should be commencing, as I believe Zero IQ will have money in the bank as well right now. So this is the round that's really gonna set the tone for the game for the rest of the next few rounds that we have.
Yep, I completely agree there. That last round was just a little bit too dicey, I would say. They kind of forgot that the Cypher even existed, I think, and went for that dash play. A little bit too dangerous for their own good there. But looking at the presence here coming in from Noobs, they have very heavy presence over into short, and none of the members of Zero IQ want to go to short. This could be good, this could be bad. It could go either way.
Yes, the jet dash comes in. No one really stops her. Azura gets one, finding the first initial sentinel. Now from top, jumping down. He's gonna trade it out though from the side of the Sova. Maki's gonna get a follow-up kill, 3v3 situation. The Cypher neural tip comes in to grant information. And now Nirvana. The splash play comes in, and the fake! The fake is gonna be effective, but the trade is there from Scar. 2v2 again. The players are all over the place.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he saw it.
Taking down. Yeah, here comes
No, Maki!
messes it up. The stun is right there. HP difference is huge, but he has no idea where the player is. Time is ticking away. Maki doesn't know where to look, and from the back end, Scar comes in, 3-1 scoreline, extending the lead. But yeah, that's a lot of players falling.
us. I can tell.
That's a tough one, especially in situations like this. 1-3 as ZQ. They are going to be taking a little bit of a pause here. I do believe that Last Hope had an issue when coming down to his internet, so man's trying to reconnect. I don't know what's been happening with Dot, but they have been, let's say, less than suboptimal in the last couple of days.
Yeah, the numbers are at the right side of the dot instead of the,
Are you proud of yourself for that one?
I am, because I don't have internet issues right now, unlike some people. But yeah,
I'm the one streaming and not you, but sure.
It's a computer issue, okay? I don't have a monitor right now.
No. You don't have a monitor. You don't have a monitor. You have a calculator that you're watching this stream on, right?
It's called a laptop.
No. It's a calculator.
Man, I feel bad for you. Okay, guys. Hope hashtag Hopium for aggressive soon. But yeah, let's get into the game as the timeout is gonna come down. Last hope. Hopefully the internet issues are resolved, because again, we are living in Bangladesh. We all know how that thing works out here. It's never really in favor of the gamers, but let's try and let's try and establish a fair and even-sided match as much as possible. But yeah, despite all the issues, Zero IQ looking strong and in the lead, in a comfortable position. As Snorlax peeking outside the garage, he's gonna find the first frag on the Nirvana. The trade does come in though, and now one gun and the disposal. But look at the reactiveness of Zero IQ. They realize this is a push. This is an eco round, so they had to have rushed together outside of that garage area, and say they take that opportunity to take care of the side of A. And they even get access into heaven. Omen and Jet, they're gonna get up there and get some ground to work out of. Ladis will get the first frag on the retake, taking down Last Hope. 3v4 situation, 3v3. Escar finds one. Yelts comes in. The Omen blind is there. Scar finding another one, and that slows down the retake.
One enemy remaining.
Nice reactiveness, 3 kills for him, and here comes the final one. From the end of the Omen, there's going to be a 4-1 scoreline coming in. Good attempt, though. I believe a little bit more utility and cohesiveness should have come in that A main retake, but still, 4-1. It's not completely out of the cards yet for a possible comeback for the side of Noobs. And this is where they have to start it, though. The buy round is so crucial right now, considering the economy, considering the scoreline. Really important for them to make these rounds count.
They should be able to do it too. That last round in particular, though, was just a very fast rush. These guys know no chill whatsoever, and they know how to treat each other out. That is the biggest thing. The problem that the members of Noobs are facing is that they're not being as proactive when it comes down to their utility gathering, and they are suffering drastically for it. They're playing so defensive, and playing defensive on the map of Haven just doesn't work. And we have seen this time and time again being proven by multiple teams that if you play a little bit too slow on Haven, you're just gonna fall under the wayside to the attackers.
Indeed, some information gathering, maybe an early pick into the utility is really crucial. Again, they don't really have the best agents for those either. The chat.
Oh!
Get out, but through the spam. Cypher plucked out of the nest. He's been playing up there and causing so much trouble for the attackers. But yeah, they finally take him out, and the side entry is there. We might see the Raze ultimate to commence the retake, but again, with a man disadvantage, do they really want to go for that? Sky Flash comes in. And
well, this is such a big bait. This is such a big bait.
The peak is there, and they're going to get the first one onto Nirvana. They're going to dash out of there. As we see the player in heaven, he's going to get taken out too, hopefully. No. We are going to see trades come in. Showstopper used up. Ladis good for one, but 1v2 situation. Peeking one in there. 3 players looking dead. Look at him dead in the eye. Not much you can do there. As the scoreline continues to, get out of their hands. 5-1. 4 rounds difference.
It's just insane how fast these players are just running into the side and taking it over. Zero IQ, absolutely no remorse in their eyes as they're just shutting down their opposition in more ways than one. And the members of Noobs, they're just, again, they're not being proactive. You cannot play the A side defensively. One time, yeah, it can work. The Cypher can get some value, but as soon as the Cypher gets value once, you have shock darts to worry about that can easily just destroy those traps. None of your setups are going to help here. And Zero IQ read into this. They expected an A stack to be present, so they headed towards C, which is going to be the weaker side, because if the Cypher is playing towards A, we're not going to go A anymore. We're just going to head towards C, where the Cypher is not going to be as present. We don't have to use a lot of utility. It's a free side for us to take over. We have the utility advantage, so of course we're going to use it.
Yeah, I love to see that adaptiveness coming in from Zero IQ. Figuring out the positioning on the map and reacting based on that. Their utility usage is looking pretty decent as well, but the retake is gonna commence. So Azura, follow-up coming up, and they're gonna get a bunch of frags. It's again a 1v4. Mr. Ladis on the raids. Oh, gets one, but the trade is instant. I'm really loving the team play from Zero IQ. We did not expect them to be this, you know, working like a single unit this efficiently, and the synchronization on all the players is very fluid. Them realizing, okay, this side is empty, using the utility and helping each other out. Not too bad from the opposite end of Noobs as well. Their utility and potential is good, but again, yeah, we really want to see them take the early fight in some of these scenarios, show up at the doorstep of the attackers and get some early ground, get a man advantage or something.
Blinded.
Well, this is just a tough spot to be in. You don't want to be in spots like this whatsoever. More to worry about here overall when you think about it. So much utility being expended early by the members of Noobs. I don't know why. They even used they even used the Sky Ult for no apparent reason. They lost out on Lidis as well. He had no backup. The Cypher is playing all the way back in towards the side, and one of his players already pushed up. It's a big disconnect.
Yeah, and he's going to be under a lot of trouble if he doesn't hold on right now to the side. As we see, none of the utilities are really coming in handy, as the Cypher will be rendered useless at this point as he's being pushed back by the utilities of the breach. Here comes the retake. The rest of the players are here. The Omen ultimate is there, but I believe they realize it. Recon passes through the smoke. He's going to peek out, but Zero IQ holds strong. 1v5 situation, not a single player falls there.
Flawless.
And there comes Azura with the final nail in the coffin, 7-1. Back with the old jokes, aggressive. Brazil fans, hello?
Don't forget, I know exactly where you live. I know exactly where you live.
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just zip it and talk about the game. Look at the scoreboard. It's tough. And it's rough.
Yeah, it's tough.
And they're going in for half buys. I understand why they're doing it, but at the end of the day, is it really the thing that's causing you problems? No. You need more proactive control, and this is the control that they were hoping to find, but they ran into an army, and they didn't have the weapons to do anything about it. No utility, no proper weaponry. They're just in a tough spot. The members of Noobs, they're just being dismantled in more ways than one. What advice can you give them? Especially when the onslaught is just this. How do you put it?
Absolutely immaculate from the side of Zero IQ. Not giving them any room. They did choose the right strategy in a lot of cases. They're taking the early ground. They're pushing up in towards C main, trying to get the early advantage, but this was not the right round.
The Omen disconnected.
Do that. I believe a ball should be on the card. I mean, despite the disconnect, we're seeing the confidence of Zero IQ just going for these fights in the post plant, even though they know that hey, we just sit pretty, we're just gonna go for a double peek, react off of each other. No, not necessary. They're just fighting in that garage, rushing towards the final player. But yeah, 8-1 scoreline. Nothing really working out for the side of Noobs at this point. I believe with the weapons advantage, they should try and attempt to get some of the crucial players. I mean, we saw that one round win. We saw that Jet Rush coming in the dash and being dismantled by the Cypher in the side of A. That's the round that we really saw them shine. So having that early advantage, taking out the spearhead of the Zero IQ, really blunts the entire push into the side, and then they can just play their numbers. They can play the utility, play together. Even just simple strategies like double peeking or peeking off of one of your teammates will be so effective in those situations. But yeah, they have to find that early advantage first. They have to reliably use utility and peek together. But again, Cypher holding outside of the seaside. Good plan from the end of Zero IQ to go and try and push the opposition. But you have to consider the Sky and the Rays playing in that A side. So we might see a bit of a bloodbath in this A main, especially if the side of noobs decide to play proactive, decide to rush in and take the fight to the opposition on the defensive half. So we might see some action just as soon as this pause is dismantled. Hopefully the player will return soon. But yeah, so far, not really any trouble for Zero IQ. Despite all these issues, despite the early few rounds, remember, they were really close. They were really dicey and were almost clinched by the opposition end of noobs. That didn't really affect the players of Zero IQ. A lot in those scenarios, you would think that maybe that is something that would affect the players, the mental jitteriness, you know, losing out a close 1v1. That is something that takes a strain mentally on the players. But Zero IQ, they're looking strong. We can see definitely the young genes coming into play. They're not really affected. They're not really phased by anything like that. But yeah, I believe the pause is unpaused. All the players are ready, possibly.
Yep, they're in.
I'm not.
They're in.
Alright, they're in it. Hopefully he's gonna reconnect real soon. He's still standing in the base. We're gonna see early aggression as we predicted in that A main. The Omen's gonna be positioned in that sewers area. Ecstasy needs to go big. He's only got one this entire first half. 9 rounds in, only 1 frag. This could be a really important stage where he has to go big for his team. We're gonna see the first frag coming in his favor. Takes down Snorlax and a good denial from the end of the defenders. Azura does get one, but traded immediately by Nirvana, and that pushes them back. Early advantage is there. They can even go for a revive, but this re-aggression is something that they might not expect. The two players pushing towards the sewer area. The flash doesn't find them out. If they can get this opener, the side entry could be theirs, but Nirvana is good
Spike
for one.
down
Trade is there, but
Okay.
1v2. Makizushi is gonna be rushing to aid his teammate. But look at Scar. Oh my god, he's pushing and the revive comes in. He knows exactly where the player is. Cypher unprepared. Maki falls.
30 seconds left.
Are we gonna see an ace plus? He has his ultimate as well.
Yeah, there's his ultimate and 2 flashes, by the way, Kirito. There's a
Oh my
pretty
God,
good opportunity. He's gonna be able to walk away with this scotch free. He has a chance. Especially with his ultimate being available and the second flash, he can easily kill the planter.
Indeed, he can. This is where the team play needs to come in, but he's gonna be committing that ultimate first. And both players are gonna be hit by it. One.
And now he has 2 flashes and a stun. He has 2 flashes and a stun. It's done. How do you contest this?
And Lettuce is so far away. The time's ticking out. Can he dodge these in time? Is the question. The flash is there. And
Yeah, that's
again,
one. He's holding stun. Ready.
The stuff. Oh,
Take a
he's
flash.
got a really good
Blind.
place.
It's
And
done.
he's flushed.
You can't
Oh,
do anything against a breach that has this much utility. You can't. It's impossible to win.
Indeed, it was. Nothing the players could do right now. At that spot there, the utility.
Yeah, even if your cryocells, yay, or even Demon Bot, what the hell do you do there?
Especially in that scenario, I believe they were really far distanced from each other. Maybe playing together would give them an opportunity, but nothing that can be done right now, as we're gonna see the 9-1 scoreline pop up on our screens. Still the absence of one player.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, and he's back, and he's gonna get the spike as well. Scar leading the entry into the side of B. It's all there. Omen Flash will connect, but nothing to react off. And Sky Flash.
Okay.
Oh, Okay, he doesn't know what happened there. Nirvana finds one. So does Ecstasy. This lurking killjoy could be a lot of trouble though, but it's a 2v4 situation. I believe Zombie. He's got some idea on where the players are as Nirvana taken down. Snorlax now. The entirety of Noobs are aware of the positioning. Snorlax, life-saving, finds 2 frags. Allows the seaside to be held.
You should run.
Maki Sushi. Cypher ultimate used up.
Last player
Sorry,
standing.
Killjoy ultimate, my bad. And Zombie's just holding. He knows, and he knows where the last player is. The Killjoy ultimate will push him out, and that's so much time. Ecstasy, he's gonna have to react quick. Omen flash to slow him down as well, and he's right in his face.
Oh, no, not like this. Not like this. Not like that. Oh, he actually did die. This is bad. Oh, this has gone from bad to worse. Knows exactly the position is, but there's absolutely no time. Gotta go in for the style point. Snorlax with a triple kill, but good God, man, Zombie. You just don't have to do the man like that.
Last round.
He's got a family back at home. What would his mom think?
I didn't even, I couldn't even see that the TP was on the other side. I thought he was like positioned outside the door. But Zero IQ, they're just being the aggressive giants they are. 10-1. How do you even come back from that now? Imagine this, they start hitting shots. They start playing together. The momentum that Zero IQ have built up. The team play, the utility that is so, I mean, this is a massive difference among the two sides. How can you counter that? Azura even going for an attacking side at all. Very, again, very bold. Despite all the rounds they have, the advantage they have gained, that's still pretty bold. So far, a bit of a disruption towards that A main. Things do reach a stalemate. Because they're gonna fall back. Still a minute on the clock. A lot of time to explore these sites. Try and go for opening pick. Hunter's Fury available. Even the Omen ultimate at this point could be useful, but Seaside so very empty. Even with the Cypher utility, I don't know if they have enough time to try and actually hold this stack back. The breach utility is there as he's walking in. Akizushi only with the classic. He's trying to.
Oh no! Maki!
There. Scar 20 HP. He's having a hard time finding these Cypher cameras.
30 seconds left.
And Maki's so creative with it as well, with the way he places these Cypher cams. Absolutely gorgeous
Spike
all around,
planted.
but now they have to worry about even more with the lurking killjoy coming to the other side. Mingu, good for another kill, but Snorlax, a boogeyman over from the side. Good for the first, he didn't see the second. The race just casually walks in. But Scares gonna have the timing and he's gonna have the shot. Look at this guy, he is an absolute cold-blooded killing machine. But the Sage is gonna match him. Good for the other kills.
Now he does know where he is. The Swarm Nade will give the position away, and now he's just locked himself away. He can't enter the site. But now his Swarm Nade dissipates. He's gonna go for the peak and wins it out. 11-1 as we reach
Switching
the end.
sides.
Oh, we don't reach. Oh wait, we didn't reach the end. We still have one more round. Oh wait, we don't have one more round. Sorry, I'm just confused, man. The last round was such a whoopsie daisy.
That's Kirito's entire career in a nutshell.
Your mic's breaking up. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
That was that was a whoopsie daisy of a round there coming in, but yeah, again, that lurking kills are coming in so big for Zero IQ, and it's not just the lurking killjoy, it's the rest of the players finding the frags, allowing side of Snorlax to find such an easy opportunity to exploit, keeping them distracted in the side of C and allowing Snorlax to just walk in and find two players with his back turned on him. And even after that, he didn't play passive. He didn't fall back. He took the fight and he went to garage. As we see again aggression from the side of Noobs as they tried to push into the A side, but Silver utility keeping them at bay, and looks like they're gonna fall back. Azura's already lost a good chunk of his HP, but not afraid of a fight, peeking outside, and there's a raise. The race is right outside.
Why not making any noise though? Oh, I think Azura is expecting this? Wait, no, he's not expecting it. He's expecting a player outside of A-Main. Oh, wait, this is just a Mexican standoff and a half, and Azura's dead.
Oh.
Come on, no!
Oh! a bit of a whiff there from Ladis. He gets the frag on Asura, but last hope there to trade him out. It's still a 4v4, but no information where these players are. They do know they're not outside A main, so they're going to be falling back. But look at the map. If the side of Noobs decide to go back to A right now, that would be huge, but they're going to walk towards B. Aki was just outside of B main. Oh, he spotted out, but
Scare.
30 seconds left.
and they're gonna go back to A. The site's completely empty, but I believe the breach, he should hear noise. Scar, he realizes what's happening, and he's not gonna wait for his teammates. He's trying to go for a pick. Flash will push him back. Smoke's there as well, and he's forced to play passive. Sober Recon gives information, but nothing they can counter off of. Again, now the counter lurk is there aggressive.
Oh,
What's
look
gonna
at the
happen
Cypher's
here?
positioning. Cypher's in prime spots to get 2 kills. He's looking for more, but he's not gonna be able to get it. Regardless, the hold is good though.
3v2 situation now. Snorlax trying to assist his teammate. The last hope with
Last
only
player
10 HP. Ringo wasn't even aiming at him. Gets the frag. Knows where the last player is. And they're holding him together. The classic comes in big. 11-2. And from the grave, they're crawling back. They're trying to crawl back at this point. That's the round in their favor. Should give them advantage in the next one. But how long can you continue this? They're 1 away from match point. How long does the stamina last? How long can they keep on winning and winning without giving any room? Easier said than done.
Noobs had a pretty good read though overall. The members of Zero IQ just got completely stuck, and that's the power of Sage, honestly. Because of that wall, they got slowed down so heavily that they couldn't really break through the defensive lines that the attackers had set up for that retake. So much to worry about here, and even more to think of. But Asura, so beautiful when it comes down to their share of shots. Comes in clutch, gets the hit, and now look at the control. They're everywhere.
Oh, the big rush comes in last hope with a shorty. Finds the frag, no trade.
And he's still getting it.
Eventually, with ecstasy. Good for 2. 3v2 situation, make it a 2v2 with ecstasy. Keeping his team in the advantage situation, but now they're all everywhere. The Omen ultimate coming in. And from the base. Ladis trying to hold him back. Knows where the last player is. Sheriff not working out. And Snorlax will fall. All onto Zombie. 26 HP. He's only got a classic 2 smokes to work with, but what can you do with those? Especially now that he's smoked out in heaven. No information for him. Drops down. But Ecstasy is there to protect his teammate. Ladis. Keeping their team alive. 11-3. That was the advantage that they get by winning the pistol round. Getting those 2 in their favor. But now with the buys coming in, Zero IQ, they have to make these counter to go for the quick finish. To end out this matchup. To finish them off at this point, honestly. But one thing that is still very far away from finishing off is our amazing sale on the Logitech G store.
Nice segue.
On the Rust page. Yeah, that's what I do, man. But yeah, there is a link pinned on the stream. Make sure you read that and check out the discounts that we have on all Logitech products from the 12th to 24th September. Make sure you pick out your gear that you wanted to get on your setup. And right now, the setup is looking good for the side of Noobs, as they're holding strong on all avenues. B side's looking a little empty, so they might try and explore that. But looks like it's going to be a hit, and the timing could not be more impeccable, as 2 players are going to fall out of the side of A. They're still holding into it though. They have to be cleared out. And so much noise is being made. Ecstasy finding the opener onto overpeaking Azura, but last hope.
Standing ahead.
And let's see how they're gonna react off of this. They can try to fall back. And I believe that's what Zero IQ are counting on. That's what they're hoping for them to push out of this A side. Try to rush towards B or C. Because that's where the rest of the players are holed up. Exactly what's gonna happen.
30 seconds left.
So trying to walk towards that C long area. Nothing really to garage. But they're still very spread over the map. 2 players outside of A, 2 players outside of C. 20 seconds remaining as last hope to get some of the fragment of Nirvana. I believe they're trying to sell the fake, trying to confuse Zero IQ. That's worked partially. But they need to hurry up. What's he going to do with the TP? He's going to TP the side.
You heard him? Oh no, last hope!
but the players around him.
Last player standing.
Yep, no
Zero
time.
IQ,
Spike
getting the
down
spike.
A.
And with
Close
no
one.
time left, nothing the last player can really do. It was just a really confusing
Match
round, man.
point.
Like, they didn't, it seemed like they didn't have a clear idea.
Yeah,
of
they
how
didn't
they're
have a
gonna play
game
that.
plan at all there. They were just hoping to find maybe a couple of kills and confuse out Zero IQ, but Zero IQ, they're like, nope, we're gonna hold down our side, we're gonna play it smart, and we're gonna let you run into us. Because if you guys don't have a solid plan of what you really want to take control of and how you want to utilize your utility, then why do we need to take initiative? It's fine.
Absolutely, they exploit that to the maximum. And again, now aggressiveness from the side of Zero IQ as Last Hope gets the first frag on the Ecstasy. Flash is there, they're trying to peek off of this. Nirvana, good trade, but Last Hope is
Spike
there.
down A.
Scar is gonna follow that up. Nirvana finally takes him out of his misery. 3-2 is gonna be the agent difference right now. And now, what do the side of noobs do? They can't really push towards A. No smokes there for
One
them.
enemy
As
remaining.
we are gonna see Scar
Spike down A.
taking care of this all onto the lone sky. Nirvana getting spammed. The lack of utility. You have to guess that there are going to be players outside. And speaking
Defenders
of which,
win.
13-3 is going to get scored. Like, we didn't realize this was match
Let's
point,
collect samples
honestly.
and get out of here.
Zero IQ absolutely decimates their opponents today.
What's an insane hole coming in from the side of Zero IQ. An absolute chokehold from them. They didn't let up a single inch, and Scar coming in massive 26 kills on a breach. Now that is something both of the initiators just performed out of their absolute minds. These two initiators have a lot of pressure on them, but the pressure seems to be not affecting them whatsoever. They can set up the team and they can set themselves up for a lot of damage and a lot of frags very easily.
Yeah, that's the thing you really look for in a team, isn't it? You gotta have that teamwork, you gotta play your utilities and play your roles perfectly, but also in a situation where you have to play the 1v1, you have to step up. You can hold your own there as well. So that is really admirable from the side of these two players. And from the duelist as well, Azura, he definitely took a lot of fights. He took the initiative as the duelist. He tried to open up the side for his team, play off of the utility. He might not be on the top of the kill charts, but he definitely played the duelist role to perfection.
That's true.
Trying to lurk in, trying to rush into site and allow the rest of his teammates to flood in to the gap that he had created. So a really strong sense of agent play coming in from the side of Zero IQ. That is something that if they work on more, if they develop that team play, if they develop the sense to of experience and the sense of calmness that comes. I mean, we saw in sort of some scenarios where they were actually denied from the site entry. That's where they really struggled. That's where they really had trouble coming up with a game plan in a lot of cases. But again, same sort of happened with their opponents. Noobs weren't able to come up with a game plan in a lot of scenarios. Sort of they had this set piece early on that got dismantled, and after that, they really couldn't come up with anything. So there were some issues where Zero IQ had to face that. They lost their spearheads, they lost the key players for that round, and they couldn't come up with a backup plan. They couldn't come up with anything that really allowed their team to thrive out of that. Maybe that that 1v5 clutch coming in from Scar was impressive, but that's not really something that symbolizes team play. That's not really something that symbolizes team strategy. So that is going to be really crucial, especially considering how much experience some of the other teams have that they're going to face in the future. But the signs are good. The potential is there. Hopefully, with more work and more practice, they're going to be able to reach the same height, because yeah, this is a strong team, and it's really making me want to, support them as the dark horses, as the underdogs in the following stage of the tournament.
Yep, that's for certain. Zero IQ, they have proven themselves here to be a contender for the IGE Contenders, no puns intended. But moving on down the line, this is one of those teams that really needs to gain a lot of experience to finally reach that finish line. Will they be able to do it? You're only going to be able to find that out by making sure to follow the page. And of course, make sure to hit that notification so you know exactly when we are live. Make sure to follow all of the social things down below and check out the sales, because there's going to be big sales all around. It's Logitech G, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a mouse like this and if you want to compete at the highest level and not be a noob like Kirito still stuck in silver, make sure to grab your Logitech gear right here, right now. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with Kirito signing on off, and we're going to be seeing you with a lot more action tomorrow. in the Logitech G IGE Contenders. See you then, ladies and gentlemen.
We all play in our own way for our own reasons. And that's okay. Because there's levels to this. Not just levels in games. There's levels of specs.
And levels to flex.
Sequence initialized.
There's mad levels of innovation.
3, 2, 1. Activate light speed.
And mythic levels of creation.
There's levels to exceed.
And levels of speed.